And we are back. Another episode of Chris Hates Everything. I am your motherfucking host, Chris. And what the hell are we hating on? Hating on today. I've been away for a while, just getting my life together and stuff like that. If you have two eyes and they can see in color, you will notice that we have a background. And I think it's nice. It adds a level of cheese to the show that I like. Not too cheesy, but just a little cheese to where it's like a quirk. We're manifesting things with this backdrop. We want to actually be in a position where we are doing this show with the real Los Angeles behind me, not just fucking tarp. We're gonna get to it eventually. That's what we're gonna do. These are creases that came in this shit. I am not going to iron those out. So yes, I am very aware of those that are in that shit, but I'm not gonna iron them out. So you can go fuck yourself. So what else what do we got? That fucking piece of shit, this motherfucker right here. This piece of shit right here. This piece of shit. I'm not going to say he got what he deserved, but he got what he deserved. That's not funny, but, when the nigga, I stayed away from this video because I am trying to not watch any black violent shits. Like, I'm trying not to watch that shit. I don't want to watch any black people fighting. I don't want to watch any black people hurting one another. I don't want to see any of that shit. So I've been skipping that. I've been skipping that. But this guy right here, he's a piece of shit. This motherfucker right here. This nigga right here. He's a piece of shit. You're a piece of shit. Your pants are a piece of shit. Your shoe, everything about this nigga right here is a piece of shit because he squared up with this woman right here as if she posed some type of physical threat. And all she was doing was arguing with this nigga. And I don't give a fuck what y'all niggas was arguing about. I don't give a fuck. Well, you squared up on her and you gave her a warning as if she was gonna really like pose some type of threat to you. Definition of weak men. I'm not gonna say that he had a mental breakdown. I don't give a fuck about none of that shit. Fuck this nigga for the rest of our lives. What he got is what he got. A kid protecting his mother and stuff like that from this piece of shit. So fuck that dude. Let's get that out the way right now. So what happened was there was an update because the little boy who shot this young man was taken to jail, and prosecutors have ended up dropping all the charges against the mother, Carlisha Hood, and her son. So we can applaud that. Let's applaud that. So yeah, that little boy's out of jail for saving his mother from this piece of shit. So even with that said, that man had two daughters. So prayers out to those children and those children's mother. They lost a father, and even though he was 100% in the wrong, two kids lost their father. So, it sucks that it had to go that way, but he kind of made that bet, so he had to lie in it. Pause. So yeah, but fuck that dude though. I don't even want to say his fucking name. Yeah, I'm trying to stay away from all that violent shit. I don't want to see none of it. But yeah, fuck them. 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 What else do we got? Okay, this is a quick thing on Dr. Umar. He's been making the rounds lately. He was on, I forget what podcast it is. I don't know. I forget, but it's the one with the three dudes, and they three black guys, and they I think it's a daily wrap-up show or something like that. I forget what it's called. But Dr. Umar was on there, and they say he was running circles around the guys, but I don't know.
We have to be held accountable for their poor selection.
No, you have to be held accountable. No, you have to be held accountable because they have a poor selection. See, what you're saying, you're selecting a poor mate. And what I'm saying is
fair use.
To select one, so of course you're going to end up with a poor mate. And why is she going to end up with a poor mate? Because we as black men are not.
All right, shut the fuck up. Gonna get you the fuck out of here. Okay. What he is saying because I get what he's saying. He's saying that basically it's on the rest of the men to kind of make sure that the bad men, quote unquote, are properly trained and that the women don't have the piece of shit niggas to pick from. My only pushback against that is all that fucking bullshit. You know, it's not all the good men's fault that they are bad. That you know that women are picking the bad men. A lot of women don't want good guys. As a guy who dates only black men, as a guy who only dates black women, they don't want the quote unquote good guy. They're not seeking the one that they're not seeking the good guys. They're seeking the bad guys. And which is fine because they can like what the fuck they like. But for Dr. Umar, black crusty ass, to get up on that show with them young men and say that bullshit, it was heartbreaking because it felt like it was pandering to women. And I know women are gonna be like, oh, well, see, you know, absolvers and everything. You know, if we didn't have piece of shit niggas to pick, we wouldn't pick them. But well, that's true. But there's also good men that you will collectively ignore. So I don't know what the fuck his stance was on that or his aim was when it comes to that shit. But that I'm not rolling with none of that shit that nigga was saying. At least in that segment right there, he said some good things too. I suggest you guys go look that up and go watch the whole thing. But to blame black men for the fact that women pick the quote unquote bad guys because we didn't do better enough with those dudes, it's bullshit. It's bullshit and absolves a woman of a lot of her own choices. It just doesn't hold her accountable for anything. Because again, when you say those good, though, there's a lot of bad dudes out there. You're just ignoring the good guys. So, and a lot of women ignore the good guys. So yeah, fuck Dr. Umar and that thing right there. And I hope he got that damn school up too, because the nigga been talking about that school for like 15 years. So, you know, what else do we got? The Coon Awards. I don't have a problem with BET. I just think that it's the urban aisle in the supermarket. You know, the aisle with your hair products on there, with the people who look like you on there. That place. That's what BET is to me. It's here you go, nigger. You want to fix your hair? You can go in aisle 8. You know, like Pantene and shit is not in the fucking same aisle as the fucking brown gel shit niggas used to put in their head when they had the curl and shit like that. That's not there. You know, they do it with Spanish people too. They do it with Asian people too. They separate the foods and they say, hey, your rice can't be here with the other rice, with the rice that we deem, you know, for us. Your rice got to be in a different aisle. Like that's BET to me, and that's been BET to me for a very long time. I don't really like networks that are just all one race. Especially, I understand why they're there, but it feels so performative. Here you go, nigga. You can watch people who look like you because we're not going to put them on all the other channels. You know, that's what I look at. I didn't watch the BET Awards, so I don't know who won anything. I know Lotto looked great because she looks fucking great to me specifically. But I don't know who won anything. I don't know if she actually won anything. This is not the show for that. This is just to point out the fact that BET is just the nigga aisle at the store, you know. But shout out to Tyler Perry for purchasing it and keeping it black owned and stuff like that. Hopefully he can give me a job there. What else? The American Family Act. If you are not abreast of stuff like this, which is basically the what is that? It's the child credit tax. You know, it's the same child tax credit that parents get when they're filing their taxes. But with this law that hopefully will pass legislation, it will, instead of you getting that money at the end of the year, they'll break that money up into 12 separate payments. So if your kid is under 6, that child will get $300 a month for the next 12 months, I guess, from old Uncle Sam. And then after 6, between 7 and 17, that number goes to $250. So just for having kids, you'll get a couple dollars. I don't know if this is going to pass any legislation, but I thought that was really cool to point out, especially they're trying to design like a stimulus or some shit like that. So hopefully a lot of people qualify. Hopefully a lot of people get that. Now is the politics hour, or the politics segment of Chris Hates Everything. Let's see. What else do we got? We got Dr. Umar. Oh, shit. Let's not forget. Mariah Mills is going fucking loco on the internet. She's been going fucking crazy the last couple of, it's probably about 3 weeks now, this shit, of nonstop terrorist acts against my nigga Zion Williamson. He's not my nigga, but he's a good player. But this is one of the latest videos. There we go. She's getting a tattoo of his nigga's name on her face, which I don't believe to be real. I do believe a lot of her antics are performative. Look at that little wiggle in her little fake butt. I do believe her antics are performative because now she is saying that she is pregnant with that man's child. And I don't know if that's real or not. It doesn't feel real. I think she's performing. She got suspended from Twitter. And now she's saying she's pregnant with that man's child. And Zion couldn't even be happier with he can't even be happy with his new baby mama and stuff like that. He can't be happy with her right now. This motherfucker is ruining everything. But this Mariah Mills shit is a big deal because it's a teaching moment. It should be looked at as a teaching moment for up-and-coming athletes because there are women trained to seek those types of men out to drain them of their money through sex and companionship, but you got to pay for that companionship. So this is a teaching lesson for those young men and all young men, because this is now the modern woman's nature. This doesn't apply to all women because I think there are more great and good women than not. It's just that the loud ones are really on social media. The terrible ones are on social media. Most of them anyway. But yeah, it's a huge teaching moment for men because when you get a certain level of status as a man, you should not be paying for sex. And if you are paying for sex, it better be Bernice. That's what I'll say. If you don't know who Bernice is, do your motherfucking Googles, and yeah. Because she is bad. That motherfucker grandma, I believe. And she fine, the motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? But for a guy like Zion, you shouldn't be paying Mariah Mills anything. She should be fucking you for free. And you should not be having sex with her without a condom. Speaking of which, none of you niggas should not be fucking with should always be fucking with condoms. You need to have these. I know it doesn't feel as good. I know. But stop turning one-night stands into 18-year relationships where it's just filled with hate and you're bringing a kid into the world. So just put a condom on and you don't end up like fucking Zion. So, yeah. Unless you feel like you one of them niggas who can take care, who can handle that shit. Zion obviously wasn't carrying it correctly. I seen those Snapchat DMs. He was fucking wilding. He was wilding. He should not be paying that woman for sex. He shouldn't. Just disgusting. She's too plasticky looking for me. I don't like. You know what it is with the IG chicks, the Instagram models and social media models and stuff like that. Their stomachs are really flat and it looks really unnatural. I gotta have a little stomach. I gotta have a little chub in my program. Have some fat. There. You don't have to have washboard abs, but have a little bit of chub. In that midsection there for me. Let me know it's real. That's just me.